out with another brilliant column last couple of days titled "America: A Land of Ceaseless Conflict," and he ruminates about the illusion that some people have in the political class, media class in the United States, is that once Trump's gone, everything is going to go back to normal. Everything will be quiet, and even Joe Biden said on the campaign trail, nothing will fundamentally change. These people don't know what they're talking about, because the rift that is going on in American politics and culture is so deep. The abyss is so deep that I think that what happened in the Trump administration is this reflection of those divisions. He didn't create those divisions, irrespective of how you feel about Trump. So going back to normal, that's an illusion, Marcus. What do you think?
America is not, for want of a better word, a normal country. Firstly, it was born out of genocide. Secondly, and the factor I'm going to cite now might be distasteful to a number of people, and in particular neoliberals, but quite frankly, I'm not interested in what they think. But America is not a nation state. And that means America has never truly had an identity. America has never truly had a culture. Whilst most of the largest groups, ethnic groups in America, are Northern European, for example, English, German, Scottish, Scots-Irish, and Irish, there are many other ethnic groups there. If you take Australia and America have a, relatively speaking, similar length period of history. There is more of an Australian national identity and culture and unity than there is in America. Why? Because the vast majority of Australians descend from the British Isles, in particular England. But in America, you do not have that sort of harmony. So that is a major problem. We hear a lot of liberals in America talking about how America is a successful melting pot. Well, it would be nice if everyone in the world was united, but that is not how human beings have evolved. Human beings have, over thousands of years, evolved into tribes. That is the way it is. That is the way it always will be. And indeed, Vladimir Putin once asked, rather rhetorically, does America actually have a culture? And I would say it doesn't, because America is not a nation state. That is why America will always be divided, no matter who sits in the...
Yeah, but you can make the argument too that it is a nation state of multiple tribes. Okay, and I think that that's a viable argument to make here. But George, to my point here, I mean, these divisions have been with us for a very long time, and one of my favorite mantras, as you well know, is that the neoliberal ideology that is practiced and forced down on everyone. It does argue about what culture means, what American culture means, but they refuse to talk about class, and that is the biggest division. Okay, Black Lives Matters, Antifa, or abortion. These are the things they do to keep us divided. And I would be willing to say, and Trump saw it very differently, and it's up to our viewers to decide how successful he has been. But the class issue is what got him elected, and that's an issue that could get him reelected if he were focused on it. But at this late day in the game, I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome that. But Joe Biden said, nothing will fundamentally change. Well, that's the problem. Things need to fundamentally change, okay? Because the next Republican after Trump, if it's in 4 years or 8 years, it's going to be somebody that's going to be like Trump, but probably a far more effective in office. Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, that's right. Now, the problem with the United States, to be a functioning democracy, it means that there is a consensus, and there's a consensus about the succession of power. I mean, what happened in 2016, and I think at least in terms of modern history, this has never happened, which is one class simply refused to accept that election result. Well, when that happens, of course, then you've got the makings of a civil war, because whichever way this election goes, it's almost certainly going to be a very close one. And it's very unlikely that either side will accept that election result. Should Trump be re-elected, then those who have been rioting all of this year, plus the media allies who have been justifying the violence, with Antifa, the Black Lives Matter, they will be in support. They will support the violence, and they will just simply refuse to accept Trump's re-election. Whether they blame Russia for it, or they'll find something else. They'll blame the October surprise, Trump bringing it, or Trump's allies bringing up this laptop. They will blame that. And almost certainly, within days of Trump being inaugurated, Nancy Pelosi's House will launch an impeachment, yet another impeachment. If it goes the other way, if Biden wins, and particularly after we're going to have these elections where we're going to be counting and counting and counting for weeks on end, and suddenly, whoa, Biden has won, we've got the votes, then I think that there'll be a real burst in the growth of the militant movement. And as happened in the 90s, it's quite likely that a